sa video na to.
Like to cook sinigang? Let's try to cook the best sinigang we can.
Kakain tayo sa sikat na Argentinian steak restaurant na nag-iisang Erwan Heussaff. Sabay-sabay nating alamin kung bakit nga ba marami nakain ng steak nila.
Argentinians are the biggest beef eaters in the world.
At bukod dyan, ay magkakaroon tayo ng eksklusibong panayam sa nag-iisang Erwan Heussaff. At pag-uusapan namin ang pagkaing Pilipino, kultura.
To move a cuisine forward, you need to be able to be very experimental with it.
Biyahe.
Ano yung isang probinsya sa Pilipinas na parang nagulat ka, ha? Ganito pala yung food scene dito.
At kanyang buhay.
Are there any challenges being a half Filipino and half French? Isang content creator ka na nagpo-promote ka ng Filipino food.
Maghanda mabusog ang tiyan, maghanda mabusog ng kalaman. Ready ka na ba?
You only eat on
Do not off guard mo naman ako.
TARUH!
Okay, pare, sa magandang umaga, nandito tayo sa Molito, Alabang, dito sa Chingolo, Deli. Pops, very special tong episode na to dahil makakasama natin yung one of the co-owners ng Chingolo Deli at marahil isa sa naging blueprint pagdating sa content creation, lalo na pagdating sa pagpromote ng kultura ng ibang-ibang lugar sa Pilipinas at lalo na syempre sa pagkain Pilipino. So, mamimit natin mamaya ang nag-iisang Erwan Heussaff. So, way back pa 2022, nagkakalala na kami. So, funny story, si Sunny nagpakilala sa akin kay Erwan. And then somehow nag-guest din ako sa YouTube channel niya yung feature. And then yeah, but it's been like 3 years ago. Ang tagal na panahon na yun. So ngayon catch up din. And at the same time, bukod sa titikman natin yung mga masasarap na pagkain nila dito sa Chingolo Deli, lalo na dito sa South, matunog talaga tong restaurant niya. Anyway, bukod sa restaurant niya, gusto ko lang din kilalanin si Erwan. Tanungin natin siya ng mga ibang questions, lalo na pagdating sa trabaho niya, pagdating sa content creation, at lalo na sa pag-promote ng iba-ibang pagkain Pilipino. At yeah, maya-maya darating na siya at hintayin natin siya. Panigurado, Pops, excited na kayo dahil to be fair, first time mag-guest ni Erwan Heussaff mismo dito sa The Chewy Show. At yeah, hinihintay natin. TARUH! Boom! Pare, so nandito na tayo sa Chingolo Deli. Kasama na natin, bigyan ko siya ng small introduction, maybe the #1 food content creator in the entire Philippines. Masasabi kong one of the pioneers pagdating sa food vlogging sa buong Pilipinas, a James Beard awardee, might be the most handsome food content creator there is. At higit sa lahat, asawa ni Ann Curtis. Erwan Heussaff, welcome to The Chewy Show.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Bro, how are you?
I'm good. I don't know if I'm the #1, the most handsome maybe. No, I'm kidding.
Unang question ko, kasi pinapanood na kita way back pa pare. Siguro unang video na panood ko sa'yo, Jakarta ka, mga overnight videos mo.
Yeah.
During that time, it was Erwan Heussaff, the YouTube channel.
Yes.
That's the brand.
Correct.
And then you shifted to feature.
Yeah.
Is there a fear during that time na, oy,
When I did this,
yeah, you did the switch?
100%. Because for the longest time you think, okay, I mean, when you're a content creator, you think people watch you because of you. How you say things, how you are on camera, and, the way you think about things. So when I stepped back, I was like, will this work without a face? And what we realized when we did the first test, we did a few tests of videos without me. May parang konting voiceover lang sa introduction, yun lang. And then we realized, oh, people are watching because of the story, right? So yeah, there was definitely a lot of fear, but we tested it. So we were slightly confident going in that people are here for the stories.
Storya. Mga storya na nakastruktura para madali malunok ng madla. Mga storya tungkol sa sariling atin. Mga rekados at local produce na hindi mo alam na meron pala. Mga buhay at kultura ng mga tao sa iba't ibang probinsya. At higit sa lahat, mga pagkain na talaga namang mas lalalim pa ang pangunawa mo sa kulinaryang Pilipino. Yan ang mga nababahagi ng team ni Erwan dito sa feature. Hindi lang para sa mga lokal na nanonood, pero maging sa mga international viewership.
2025, what's your take on the culinary scene in the Philippines?
I think it's super exciting in the restaurant space. So back 2012 when I started all my online work, I also had a bunch of restaurants, too many. A lot of them failed and everyone was opening. And I feel like it's the same thing now where everyone's opening. But I feel like the market is a bit more mature where you have chefs now that are really standing behind their type of food. Even if it's not like a high, fine dining restaurant, you have a lot of restaurants where the food is a bit more specific. Before, all the food was the same. It was just kind of like in a different space,
Exactly.
right? Pero the menus were all very similar. Now it's so niche, it's so like specific, and so I feel like the Philippines is now becoming that slowly, which is great because then you'll have, I mean, a few weeks ago, I bumped into someone. I said, "Hey, what are you doing in the Philippines?" And they're like, "Oh, we're here to eat." I'm like, they were from Hong Kong. I'm like, "You're here to eat?" Yeah, they were like, "Yeah, we're just here for 2 nights. We're gonna have 2 dinners. We're gonna go to 2 cocktail bars and maybe have 1 lunch, and then we'll fly back to Hong Kong." So I was like, "Okay, that's never happened before.
Galing.
Before
Tama,
people come
tama.
to the Philippines for business." Or for Palawan and
Boracay.
Siargao, right? So para sa Manila,
Exactly.
layover
Oo,
lang.
oo.
Pero now you have people that come here for food. So parang the food scene is getting very exciting, which is great.
Galing.
And then I think that equals to the content creator scene as well. I think people are now finding their voice, and they're seeing that people are interested in Filipino food and Filipino ingredients, and you'll see people really kind of standing behind advocacy projects or really trying to push Filipino food forward.
I interviewed Chef JP a few months ago in Dubai.
Yeah.
And then I asked him, ikaw Chef JP, I mean you're an icon eh, celebrity ka, and then you're a chef, pero paano kung normal citizen lang ako? I'm a normal Filipino, I'm not a content creator. Somehow, paano mo mapupush yung Filipino food forward?
I think it's becoming more specific with what we like, how we like to cook, what we cook with,
Exactly.
right? So I think I'm a huge fan of what's called geographical indication, so knowing exactly where that ingredient came from. So if I'm making ube halaya, I'm going to tell you that the ube is of the kinampay variety and it's only grown in Bohol. So all of a sudden you have a hyper-specific product. So then you can say, yes, the best ube is from Bohol. Just like when we talk about mangoes, in general, everyone says the best mangoes are from Guimaras, right? And so when you export the Guimaras product, all of a sudden it becomes more expensive because it's more valuable, right? And I think that consistency is so important. Like to cook sinigang, let's try to cook the best sinigang we can, right? Not just, okay lang yan, because it's for my community.
Yan yung turo sa akin ng mama ko eh. Oo.
Exactly. Let's try to make the best out of it, and that means using the freshest ingredients. And so I think to push Filipino forward, that's the key. So all of that just to say, we need a better understanding of our food, and we need to understand that because you're from one province, you're from Manila, doesn't mean you know everything.
Exactly.
Right?
Oo.
And so it's really understanding the diversity, and also understanding that maybe there are things that we don't know. Maybe there are things that are getting lost. I think that understanding is so important to move a cuisine forward. You need to be able to be very experimental with it.
The hard thing about Filipinos is like, for example, greatest example, sisig.
Yeah.
When they saw a video, oy, may mayonnaise, ay pucha, may itlog. Hindi naman sisig yan, galit na. Diba? Comment section will be wild in about that certain post.
Yeah, like you need to draw a line in the sand at one point. It's a very uncomfortable truth that people don't want to admit, that the Filipino, as we call it today, starts because of Spain. So, but the problem is online, it's very hard to have this conversation because the context gets lost, right? So if you're talking to Kapapangans and you're saying, they're like, oh, but that's not real sisig, then you're like, the conversation you should have is, okay, when does sisig start for you? Because technically, sisig starts with raw papaya, dipped in vinegar. Is that the sisig you're talking about? And that you're so angry about?
Oo nga eh.
No,
Exactly.
right?
Oo.
So you're probably basing yourself of not eating sisig matua, which is boiled pig ears.
Are there any challenges being a half Filipino and half French? Tapos isang content creator ka na nagpo-promote ka ng Filipino food?
So unfortunately, people have take offense to my half. If you read it, already what's hilarious is each time there's an article even written about you or even written about me, I don't know why they always have to put the nationality.
Yun nga
Like
eh.
just say Erwan Heussaff content creator, fine. But why do they have to say Erwan Heussaff Filipino French content creator? I never call myself that. I don't go, hi, I'm Filipino French. I rarely speak about my French heritage, and that's become a learned habit. I think people take more offense to the fact that I don't speak Tagalog. So if I was
language,
if I was French Filipino pero fluent in Tagalog, people
Iba,
would be a bit
yeah.
better with me.
Sa mga hindi nakakalam, lumaki si Erwan sa Pilipinas hanggang 17 years old until nag-ibang bansa siya para mag-aral at mag-experience sa kusina. Isa siya sa kakaunti na content creator na naglalayag ng pagkaing Pilipino. Hindi lang basta pagkain, pero maging kakaibang dokumentaryo na malalim at makasaysayan. Sabi ko nga, bakit ibang Pilipino pag may nakitang foreigner na kumakain ng Jollibee ay grabe makapuri. Pero dahil hindi lang ganong fluent sa Erwan magtagalog, ay gagamitin na ito bilang pangpuna sa kanya.
That's what I find sayang is like, shouldn't everyone have the right to talk about Filipino food? I never say I'm an expert. Like what we tell people, we're not experts. I tell my team this all the time. We're not experts. We're just communicators. We try to get as much information as possible. We rewrite it and present it in a very digestible manner. And so that's what we do. That's our work.
I wanna dig in kasi nandito tayo ngayon sa sikat na restaurant mo, Chingolo Deli. Pagkakaiba ng steak scene sa Argentina compared sa ibang steak scene sa ibang bansa?
I think steak, because it's considered such an expensive meat, right? People don't unfortunately have the privilege of tasting every type of steak that there is in the world, right? Different species of cows,
Yep.
right? And so there's lots of different cows. There's lots of different ways those cows are fed, and there's lots of different ways those cows are raised. So we're not the most expensive steakhouse, but we're also not the cheapest steakhouse, right? Why Argentinian meat is considered one of the best in the world is because Argentinians are the biggest beef eaters in the world. So for them, like my brother-in-law Nico easily eats 1 kilo of beef a day. Every day. They make sure that it's raised in the best way possible, in the most natural way possible. When the weather's good, it's all grass. When the weather's bad, they finish them with corn, usually. And the cows live out, completely free range completely for 18 months. If you want, it's weird to say, but it has the beefiest flavor. It really has like a strong beef flavor, and it's not as fatty, but the fat is really tasty. Like I can eat the fat of an Argentinian steak. Whereas if you give me US choice,
umay term na
talaga.
umay na term.
Yeah.
Nagsimula ang Chingolo Deli noong 2016 sa Makati at kasosyo niya dito ang kanyang brother-in-law na si Nico Bolsico. And it aims to share the ultimate beef culture of Argentina dito sa Pilipinas. At kahit papaano, ma-introduce ito in a casual way and less intimidating.
Meron bang way na si Chingolo, meron bang way siya na para introduce sa mga Filipino consumers nyo? Kasi somehow steak intimidating eh. Like, is there a way pag pumunta ka ba dito, like how to order ba?
Yeah, so I mean we're very. That's why our price is approachable. Like if you compare our price per kilo to any other steakhouses, we're actually very. I mean to compare, we're probably price point wise the same as what's the Japanese one? Inari
steak.
Inari steak.
Yeah, exactly.
We're more or less at the same price point. The reason why we built Chingolo the way we did, like bright, no white tablecloth, right? No like fancy waiters with black and white ties and everything like that, is because we wanted to make steak more approachable. And so we see it with our people every day. They're not scared to come here. They're not scared to order.
Dress code.
There's no dress code. It's very chill. It's in the South. And our waiters are very good at explaining, what we do. Obviously, people come here. Number one seller is ribeye.
Yep.
But it's what people know. And once they try the ribeye, then maybe they come a second time. They try like an oyster blade or a flank or a skirt when we have it.
I mean, you have other kind of dish like pasta.
Yeah.
But downstairs, yung bubungad sa'yo once you go inside sa pinaka-restaurant nyo, yung deli shop mo.
Yeah, correct.
And then I observe, bukod sa mga Argentinian products and steaks na pwede mong ima-butcher shop nyo, may mga nakita rin ng mga Filipino products like yung asin buok nandun.
Oh, yeah.
So, how do you come up with that concept na, uy, sige, pangtulong na rin, lagay na rin natin yung ibang products ng Pilipino?
I mean, I consider Chingolo and Feature very different, right? But it's still me, right? I'm still part of both businesses. And so for me, it was very important. One of the biggest frustrations that we see online is when we do a video about something, people don't know where to buy it, right? And so we're like, okay, let's start putting this together, figuring it out, because Chingolo has a retail arm, right? So if we're talking about products in Feature, like tultul salt from Guimaras, then it makes sense for us to buy it from the farmers at a great price, at a good price for them, and then try to sell it here in Chingolo. The reason the menu of Chingolo is the way it is, it's really because that's the food Nico and I, when we're at home, this is the type of food we cook, that we enjoy cooking for each other. And some of it has Filipino inclinations to it, some of it doesn't. But in the deli, what's cool is we can sell other things than steak.
Erwan, it's been a fun kwentuhan. Busog na yung utak ko sa kalaman tsaka sa information. Pero I think it's time na mabusog
food.
naman tayo ng pagkain.
Okay.
Pwede mo ako samahan kumain?
Yes, of course.
Chura! Chura!
Chura!
Yeah.
Sa kusina, mapapansin mo na walang kawali, walang griddle, tanging ang griller lang nila ang nagluluto ng kanilang steak. May firewood na kasama to give some extra smokiness. I've tried a lot of steaks pero ngayon lang makakain ng Argentinian beef, aka Bolzico beef, aka the better beef. Umorder ako ng ilang bestsellers nila tulad ng ribeye steak, entrata or skirt steak, steak rice, stuffed kalabasa, chili cheese empanadas, hummus, and Chingolo burger. Halika, samahan niyo ako kami kumain ni Erwan.
Okay, pare, ito na yung ating iba't ibang pagkain dito sa Chingolo. Erwan,
Yes.
anong gusto mo simulan, syempre?
So before we even talk, I want you to taste the meat while it's
Yes,
still
please,
hot.
of course.
That's the most important.
Sige,
So here,
sige.
I'll give you.
Yep, for sure.
Here we have ribeye,
Thank you.
and here we have skirt.
Pansin ko lang din talaga dito, smoke talaga yung grilled yung pinaka-steak. Yung ganun ba sa Argentina? Hindi siya talaga sa griddle?
Yeah, so they grill low and slow. Here we use coal, tapos wood, tapos gas. So combination of everything. So at least
Okay.
every bite you get will be smoky.
Okay, cheers.
You get what I mean with a smokier flavor?
Parang siyang infused na doon sa mismong karne.
Ah.
Tapos, alam mo, kasama ko nagigis kasi sabi mong beef, extra beefy flavor. Oo nga,
It tastes, I mean, it's not as, you know when you have really fatty pieces of beef?
Oo. Napansin ko, parang pagkaluto niya, yung while nag-rest yung steak, pinapatungan niyo pa ng extra yung charcoal na wood.
Charcoal on it, yeah. Just to give it some smoky flavor, a bit more flavor as well there.
Oo, nice. Sarap.
May fat, pero it's lean, right? It doesn't feel super unhealthy.
I think doon papasok yung sabi yung extra beefy flavor. In fact. Kasi minsan pag kumakain ka ng steak, more yung taba yung nalalasahan mo. Nakalimutan mo yung lasa ng baka. This one, yung karning-karne lang din talaga.
So then if you try the skirt,
Okay.
so what we always tell people here are so used to what you call prime cuts, tenderloin, strip loin, ribeye. We're trying to push oyster blades, skirt, picanha. Because it's very different flavor profiles.
Ako lang ba, yung skirt para siyang, how do you say this? Hindi anggo eh.
It's
Oh, hindi. Oh,
if
gets
it's
mo-
over-
gets mo
if
yung sinasabi ko?
Yeah, if it gets overcooked, it becomes very livery. That's why you have to cook it kind of like on the medium rare side, so it doesn't develop that flavor.
Okay, galing. Oo, ibang yung lasa nga. Parang,
But it has a funkier taste. So that's the main, obviously, draw. But we serve that with lots of different things. Right? We have tacos on the menu, we have salads, we have sides, things that we like to eat with beef. Like so, hummus for some people
Yeah, for sure.
doesn't make sense. But for us in our household, it's something so nice to have before a steak or something like that. So
something Mediterranean, no?
yeah, and I'm very proud of our hummus. It's like silky, smooth, deshelled, no skins. So what's your diet, Steve? You only eat on
So not
camera?
out good mo naman ako eh. Calories in, calories out.
Okay.
When I travel, I try to find a gym talaga.
Okay.
So kasi hirap kasi sa trabaho natin, ang hirap
Yeah.
Ilang calories yun?
Yeah.
Ito nakakainin ko. I mean, try mo kainin na as less as possible, but wala, you have to enjoy the food eh.
Correct.
Kasi
Yeah,
malalaman nung viewers mo na nag-hold back eh. So yun lang, calories in, calories out. And
You
then,
can tell.
thank you. And then sa normal day, nagtatrack ako ng
Correct.
may meal prep ako. Ang tanong, Erwan, ikaw, anong diet secret mo? Ba't ganyan lumataba?
I fast.
Totoo.
Yeah.
Ilang hours? Yung typical?
Typical every week, at least 24 hours. At least 48 hours a week.
But you can eat what you want.
No, I'm still very. I have the type of body that if I eat something bad, right away I get
Ayaw
fast.
na
Yeah.
Hey, cheers. Sarap.
It's just steak rice. This is more, obviously more Filipino.
Ang sarap.
Man, what do you think about the hummus?
I mean, maganda. Anong trip ko lang dito? Yung consistency niya. Yung ibang hamas yung titignan mo, very watery.
Watery or grainy.
Exactly.
Minsan.
Ito makapal,
Yeah.
creamy siya, may tahini,
And
syempre
with
nandun
no
olive
cream,
oil.
right? Yeah.
Galing, sarap. Naku-curious ako, ano ba to?
So this is grilled calamansi with pumpkin flowers.
Ano yung isang probinsya sa Pilipinas na parang nagulat ka, ha? Ganito pala yung food scene dito? Yung parang, ganito pala yung food scene dito?
Kalinga.
Totoo.
Yeah. So I I used to go a lot to Mountain Province, Mga Sagada, and Ifugao. I never really spent much time in Kalinga. And when I went to Kalinga, I was like, wow, these guys eat so naturally, but they're doing things that they don't think it's special. But I was with them the whole time. I was like, yo, this is so cool. What you're doing, like, yung mga chili paste nila. I asked them, I'm like, is this purposefully fermented? Like pickled red chilies? And they're like, no, we just leave it there. But we always done it like that. In general, Kalinga, they're cooking with fermentation, they were cooking with smoke. And these are all things that were taught by their parents and grandparents.
Yung ibang nanonood ng Chewy Show, napapansin nila na mahilig ako mag-promote ng pagkain halal, pagkain Muslim. Pero never ko na rin nasabi na isa yung videos mo sa nag-influence ko. Naalala ko to way back pre-pandemic, siguro 2018, 2019. I saw a YouTube video about you filming sa Muslim town.
In Quiapo.
Quiapo.
Yeah.
Matagal na sabi ko, okay, may Muslim town pala. Interesting kasi laging Quiapo na feature eh. So doon talaga nasimula yung love ko sa halal food.
Yeah.
Tapos yun, na-venture out sa Mindanao, yung Sulu, Tawi-Tawi, Marawi na parang, okay, kakaiba, no? Tingin mo, bakit 2025 na underrated pa rin pagkain halal?
So
Mahirap pa talaga lutuin?
I don't think it's underrated. I think it's just we have a very Manila-centric view of the Philippines. Not just me and you, but everyone. We have a very Tagalog view of the Philippines. When you go to Mindanao, you know, you taste their sinigang, and all of a sudden, oh, sinigang is not that sour as we think it is, or adobo is not adobo, it's humba, right? Or it's slightly sweeter, right? And so things like Maranao cuisine or Tausug cuisine and all that, it's not underrated. It's just not communicated here.
Bakit, di ba, mga Korean food, di ba mas marami samgyupsalan kaysa makita kong mga Maranao karinderi eh. Pero to be honest, like pre-colonial na pagkaing Muslim, di ba? Bakit mas madali sila mag-adapt sa ganong kaysa yung sariling atin?
I mean, two things. I think it's mostly because the Catholic Islam thing
meron pa rin, no?
Creates
meron
a natural divide,
di mawawala.
right? We're very centralists, but you go to Mindanao, and that's why I love going to Mindanao, and that's probably why you love it as well.
Iba, di ba?
It's just like,
iba talaga eh.
oh, there's a completely different side of the Philippines that we didn't grow up, having. And the reason why we're so into it is because we've been there, right? You've seen that culture. And so, how do you get people to care? They need to experience it themselves.
Sige. Ito yung empanada. Cheese empanada. Oh, nice. Okay. Hop. Medyo spicy rin siya.
Yeah,
Oh, nice.
yeah, that one's a bit of spice.
In a good way. Yep.
So the beef you have in there, they're all when we cut our tenderloin, strip loin, ribeye, that's the beef that's in there.
Ganda rin yung texture no, nung pinso empanada,
Yung dough.
malambot, hindi siya makapal na, ang gagamitin mo lang is 5% kinetic energy. Yun lang. Alam mo, lambot.
And not too sweet either. And then you try it, here maybe try it with a little bit of chimichurri. So this is the Argentinian herb sauce. Burgers are another one that I'm kind of a stickler for.
Adik ka?
Not really.
Pinapanood mo yun, no? Ano, yung Burger Scholars.
Yeah.
Oo, pinapanood ko yun eh.
Like a lot of people, talk about smash burgers and everything
Smash
like that.
burgers, yeah.
What people don't talk about enough is the importance of the quality of the bread. Because you're not paying for the bread, you're paying for the meat.
Like, ano yung kulang sa street food scene sa Philippines?
Look at our street food like kwek-kwek or, like isaw and stuff like that. They're not very complicated. It's very just snacks, right? Whereas in Thailand and Vietnam, you can sit down and have full meals. Okay.
Tom yum, krampaw.
Exactly. So I think for us, that's culinary.
Pero sa tingin mo may kinalaman yung politics? Like yung structure ng, di ba, yung structure ng gobyerno natin, like, are they not promoting street food more? Hindi katulad sa ibang bansa, di ba? Parang they have designated talaga na areas na may night market dito, may street food market dito.
A national food doesn't just happen. It needs to be made, right? So pad thai is very Chinese when you think about it, right? And so the Thai government made the decision that pad thai would be the national food of Thailand. So when that article came out a few years ago, they're like, oh, they want to standardize adobo. I'm not necessarily for it, but it was a step into trying to figure out what should our national dish be. We need to promote the cuisine as a as a as a technique-based cuisine. So adobo is not a dish because your adobo is different from my adobo, but it's a technique. So I think it's just deciding what that technique is. Kinilaw is also it's more of a technique.
Technique siya.
It's different, right?
Oo.
Sisig now has
Sisig,
become a
oo.
technique also, right? And everyone to be okay. Like adobo be our national dish. Don't fight if it's not adobo puti. Don't fight if it's adobong talong. It's just
If
adobo.
may pinya,
Wala. It's adobo. Leave it as is, right?
Oo. Gusto ko lang last, sa Chingolo. I mean, bukod sa restaurant siya, parang dynamic siya. Ang dami niyang pwedeng gawin. Like, nakita ko may alfresco rin kayo sa labas. May butchery sa baba. So, like, is this like for all customers na interested lang sa steak or more than that?
Yeah, I mean, I think we just opened our commissary, so we'll be able, like I said, to make more Filipino products also. We're renovating our Makati, so I don't know when this is coming out, but we're closing next week. We'll reopen in September. And the whole idea of Chingolo is we know we have a good product at a good value at a really, really fair price. And so we want to give people a different steak option. Right? You don't want to step out of a restaurant spending 6,000 pesos per head, right? So here on average people spend around 1,000 to 1,500 and it's a full steak meal.
Okay, pare, maraming salamat sa panonood. Erwan,
Thank you
maraming
much.
salamat.
Appreciate it.
Maraming salamat. At isa ka sa pinapanood ko noon, nag-influensya sa akin na, uy, masaya pala bumiyahe ng Pilipinas, masaya pala kumain, at higit sa lahat, masaya pala ibahagi yun sa lahat ng Pilipino na nanonood. At maraming,
Salamat.
I mean,
Thank you.
in behalf, siguro ng mga Pilipino at siguro nanonood ng Chewy Show, maraming salamat sa pag-promote ng pagkain. Hindi lang ikaw, pero maraming salamat sa buong team mo, sa picture,
Of course, yeah.
sa pag-promote ng iba-ibang pagkain Pilipino. Erwan, baka may gusto kayo promote?
Appreciate that. Thank you. Like you said, the team, love you guys. You guys are doing such a great job, and I also think what you're doing is great.
Thank you so much.
Like
Maraming
you're opening
salamat.
it up, so I think the more people do it, the
Yep.
better it is for everyone. So thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it.
Paps, gusto yung kumain, masarap na steak, hindi masakit sa bulsa, masarap at masarap din yung may-ari. Bisitahin nyo rin Chingolo. Maraming salamat sa panonood. Ako si Chewy, kasama si Erwan, nagsasabi stay safe. Good night and goodbye. Bang! Pwede tayo sumayaw?
Yeah.
Game? One.
Okay, let's-
Joke lang.
I was like, what?
What?
I'm ready. If you want, I'll twerk it. You're looking fit, man.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
How old are you?
Na-addict na ako ha?
How old are you?
Guess, you guess, pare.
Still super young. 28?
Ha?
28?
Oh, hindi, 29.
29. Okay.
Wala like,
So you're coming into your physical peak.
siguro. Ganun ba yun?
Yeah. Mga
Early 30s?
28 to 33, parang yung muscles,
Ganun ba?
they appreciate it.
Isang maraming salamat. Alam mo, to be honest, like, bata pala ako pinapanood na kita. Hindi! Okay! Nakatanda ba? Hindi, kasi literal. College pa lang ako. Bata pa lang
Okay,
college,
it's true.
diba? So,
Fair.